What if you stopped trying to look smaller or thinner? What if the pressure to shrink yourself, to disappear, to flatter, to minimize yourself in some way just wasn't there anymore? How would that change your style? My name is Sarah. Welcome to the channel if you're new here, and welcome back to all the regulars. It's always great to see you. My channel and my work is all about helping you reclaim your identity and your style. If this is of interest to you, do visit my website, book a clarity call if you're interested in working together. I'll leave the links down below. For as long as I can remember growing up, there has been this quiet, maybe not so quiet message that women, when they dress, should dress in a way that is tasteful, neat, and always to minimize. Just recently, I was watching very early episodes of Project Runway. Has anybody else watched it? So they go back to the early 2000s, I think. And there was many conversations about things like pocket placements and placing pockets in areas where the hips might look bigger or the boobs might look bigger or the tummy might look bigger. Like this was a crime. Like they said, what woman would want to do that? They spoke as if every woman on this earth wanted to look smaller. And it was said with such authority that we were swept along with that narrative, and we said, oh yeah, of course we don't want to look bigger. Who would want to do that? And we just adopted it without challenging it. Now, of course, you have cultural pockets and differences where different sizes are celebrated more. But for the most part, when I was growing up, certainly the magazines I saw, it was all about the smaller you were, the better you are, or the more beautiful you are. A very toxic message. Thankfully, we have moved on since those conversations around women should be smaller in order to be beautiful, because the truth is your shape is not something that has to be hidden or in fact minimized. It is something to harness if you wish to do so. Dressing your body is not about disappearing. It's about showing up with presence, confidence, and yes, power. For those of you who have been on my channel a while now, you know that I'm all about knowing your goals when you're dressing. So it's not always about creating the hourglass. It's not always about creating balance or minimizing or anything like that. It's about what you want to achieve as an individual. If you want to create balance, brilliant, we can do that. If you want to create a bigger butt, brilliant, we can do that. If you want to create longer legs, yes, we can do that. But I don't assume that everybody has the same goals to shrink, to minimize. I help you get clear on your goals and help you achieve them. So let's reframe everything that we have been told for the last I don't know how many years, because looking smaller, looking thinner, well, that's the least interesting thing you can do with your style. So if we look at the idea of traditional styling and we talk about flattering your shape, and I've used these words before as well. However, when I use them, I'm talking about your goals, whatever that means for you. Like I said, if you want to make your boobs look bigger, great. Butt look bigger, great. We can do all those things and that's what flatters you. But you have to be clear on what it is that suits you. So when we talk about flattering your body, it does not mean make it look slimmer, make it look like an hourglass, make it disappear. If you take one thing away from this video today, it's about knowing what you want to achieve when you're dressing. If you're not clear on that, you can fall into that trap of, oh, I need to make myself an hourglass. Oh, I need to make myself look thinner, smaller, whatever it is. You can be easily led down that path if you are not clear on where it is you want to go. I often use the analogy of getting into a taxi and the driver says, hey, where do you want to go? And you say, well, I don't know. You are going to be taken all over the place, be charged a fortune, take a huge amount of time, and you're going to end up somewhere most likely that you don't want to be. It's far more efficient for you to get into the taxi and say, I want to go to X location. Well, now the driver knows exactly where to take you. They're going to find the fastest route, get you there in the most efficient way, cost-effective way, and you're going to be where you want to be. Know what it is that you want to achieve, and you will not fall into this trap of the traditional let's flatter your body. If we remove this idea of looking thinner or smaller or disappearing, if that no longer is a goal, then dressing for your shape is now more of a direction than a disguise. Learning to dress your shape doesn't mean you're learning to cover it up. It means learning about where your energy sits in your body. Where do you want the eye to land? Where do you feel the strongest or the softest or the most magnetic? When you identify those areas, you are in control of where the attention goes. And that's how we dress your shape, with intention, not insecurity. If you want to feel grounded, then create balance. If you want to feel powerful, then you might add great structure to the shoulders. If you want to feel sensual, then you might highlight some curves or let the waistline lead. This is strategy. It's design. It's creative direction, not damage control. I've worked with hundreds of women across the world who have been dressing to disappear. The oversized sweaters, dressing in endless amounts of black, a real attempt at disappearing. And on the other end of the scale, you have this kind of overdone look. When you dress to disappear, you're quietly expressing this narrative of, don't take up too much space, don't look at me, I just want to pass through life without anybody noticing. But when you stop trying to look smaller or be smaller, both emotionally and physically, something incredible can happen. I've experienced this myself through my own personal struggles. I have come right the way through wanting to disappear to saying, you know what, I'm just dressing for me now. Start dressing for congruence, for who you really are and what you want. And throw out those old toxic narratives that we should be dressing smaller, we should be disappearing, we should not be seen. So I'll ask you again, what if looking smaller, thinner, was no longer a goal? What would you wear? How would you walk? Who would you become? If those questions make you feel excited about change, then get in touch with me, book a clarity call, and let's work together on reclaiming your identity and your style. And we will work with your goals rather than you being dictated to. That's it for today's video. I hope it inspired you, and I look forward to seeing you again next week for another video. Take care. Bye bye.